Hello, my friends and fellow VEDSies. It's time to get personal. It's weird for me to talk about my jaw thing because it's not something people really like to hear about. It's not the most serious thing in the world, but it's not fun to hear about this. So, yeah, it's a little weird for me to just it out into the world in a video, but also it's hella stressful. This might prove to be good for me. But yeah, I'm just gonna spew out these points, tell the stories, edit it to fit into the time frame, hope that it can fit into the time frame. So there's a lot. It's a long story, and it's a medical story. So if you have issues with things like doctor's offices, medical stuff, needles, hospitals, any of that is uncomfortable for you, I'm not going to be showing any pictures of anything, but I want to throw that out there. Just, I don't want anybody to get triggered because I want to talk about my health. Let's get started. The first time that I really noticed anything weird, I was 11. I was at the dentist office and just kept telling me to open wider. I couldn't. It was hurting. She was getting real frustrated with me, but she figured it was 12-year-old molars coming in, and I accepted that. Figured they'd grow in, and I'd stop being in pain. Never really stopped being in pain. Complained about it to my mom. She was concerned. Started going to different doctors. Started trying to get testing done. That was, oh god, that was a pain in the ass. Because in order to try and figure out what was going on, because they thought it was in the jaw. And so they were like, let's do MRIs. And MRIs fucking suck. They're super claustrophobic. The only way for them to be kind of bearable is to have headphones in and play music, which is what they do for pretty much everybody. The problem is, headphones cover this area. The jaw also is this area. So I couldn't have headphones. So I would have panic attacks and freak out and cry, and that's not really conducive to the MRI, so I would have to get sedated, and it was terrible. Eventually, like 2 years later, I got diagnosed with JIA, juvenile idiopathic arthritis. So it basically means that rather than being like a systematic thing where it's like one whole side or like all of the joints are all affected, it's just like random stuff. It doesn't make sense. And yeah, that's what I got. Right around then I got my first retainer and all of the, well, not all of the first two drugs. The first one drug, and then at the end of 8th grade, the summer between 8th grade and freshman year of high school, I got put on this other drug called methotrexate, which like 50 years ago was used for chemo and now is used for arthritis. Obviously, very, 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 very small dosage, but the nausea that people tend to talk about, oh boy, did I experience the nausea that made you know, yep, this is definitely a chemo drug. So I was going into freshman year of high school, new everybody, totally different, and I could barely eat. Just the smell of most food made me super nauseous, and it wasn't helping that much. It wasn't doing what it should be doing to an extent that it was worth it. We tried to do the injection version, but it wasn't helping significantly either. We moved on to monthly IVs. Really that just kept me out of classes and didn't do much to help with the pain. Tried a whole bunch of different stuff. Wasn't really doing much pain management, but we were trying all these different immunosuppression medicines to weaken the immune system so the inflammation would go down, while also doing anti-inflammatory, basically prescription strength Advil, but like 1,000 milligrams a day. And the thing is, when you take a whole bunch of Advil consistently every day for, say, 5 years, kind of fucks with your body, which is why senior year, late March of senior year, I was 18 for less than 2 weeks before I was in the hospital with internal bleeding from my medicine. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing of me puking blood and having surgery and being in the ICU and all of the shit, but I was in the hospital for a week. It was not fun. So now with one of the main things that was managing my pain gone, we had to come up with better ideas. Well, not necessarily better, but different ideas. So that summer, I had my first real surgery on my jaw. Summer between senior year of high school and freshman year of college, I had my first little jaw surgery. They just cleaned it up, scraped stuff, smoothed it out, basically taking sandpaper on a splintered piece of wood. That's kind of what it was, and then getting steroids into there to try and help. That helped for a little, and then it kind of went back to normal. I could have been fine that way, taking my medicine, having to do the surgery every few years. But then my freshman year roommate, this bitch, refused to turn the AC off. Ever. Even when it was snowing. And we live in Ohio. If you've ever been with an old person, you know that cold and joints is pain. And yeah, I was in pain. And it was fucking freezing. And she did not care. I would have to wear my winter coat in the dorm. I had to wear my winter coat and have blankets and sweaters all piled up if I wanted to, do my homework in my own room because it was so cold. Because not only was the AC going, the fan was going, and it was hell. I mean, I had hand warmers hidden in my bed. I wore my winter coat to bed because it was so cold. And even explaining the whole thing about how arthritis and cold doesn't mix, and even bringing in doctor's notes explaining that arthritis and cold doesn't mix, and having meetings with the whole suite, and having meetings with the RA, and having meetings with the hall director. This bitch wouldn't turn. She couldn't live without her AC, not because of a medical condition or anything, just because she was a spoiled princess. So that bitch totally fucked over my jaw. It got way worse after that. And I moved, actually into the room I'm moving in now. Yeah, after that, the question kind of became, are we gonna need to replace the jaw? Are we not gonna need to replace the jaw? How long can we wait to replace the jaw? Because, joint replacement isn't nothing. If you've been around an old person, you probably know that. And also, there's the additional pressure of it being my fucking face. It was kind of decided by everybody that I would get another surgery on the jaw, just similar to the first one, but a little more intense, and then see what happened. So we did that mid-June, early mid-June. Oh God, the recovery process. Oh my fucking God. I barely saw any people my own age over the summer. The only person I ever hung out with was my physical therapist. Like, I was in and out of doctors and PT all fucking summer. It sucked real bad. But, you know, it felt a little better. Not much. It's kind of just at the same spot. But now I've got like weird little spots where I can feel where the stitches were. It's so I'm gonna need to get it replaced. There's stuff you need to do before you get the replacement. Make sure that you don't fuck up the replacement. The first is the braces. I mentioned in one of the other VEDS videos that I'm doing the Invisalign right now. That's because in theory, I'm an actor. In practice, that's a little more squirrely, but in theory, I'm an actor. And it's harder to get parts if you've got the braces. Just, it is. Unless you already play, like, teenagers. And I usually play middle-aged women, so that's a bit of a nope. So, keep these on for a bit, then I get the braces. And then, once everything, and the braces, the metal mouth braces is to help with surgery, to have stuff for everything to be attached to. I don't get exactly what's gonna happen yet. I'm a little afraid to ask questions. There's only so much my brain can really handle at any given point in time. But yeah, I'm gonna be a cyborg next summer. We'll see how airport security is for me, because I don't know if it's gonna be plastic or metal. Oh my God. I am stressed as fuck about this. There's not really anybody I can talk to about this. Not because my friends aren't sympathetic, but because my friends have no idea what the fuck this is, like what this means, what this is. Like, my friends are mostly theater majors too, so it's not like I've even got like doctor friends who like understand what surgery is like. My friends are just like, oh yes, I'm an actor and I'm in peak physical condition. The worst thing that's ever happened to me is when I broke my ankle when I was 17. And I love them, but like, it's very different. Having a chronic thing is very different than having something, you know, it's different. I'm scared. I'm really scared. I am trying to convince my parents that a proper reward, retribution, I suppose, proper reward, I guess, for having to deal with this is I'm trying to convince them to let me go to Gen Con next year. There are other conventions that are closer. I am very well aware. There are other conventions that are more in line with what I like. I am aware. Those cons do not have Critical Role live shows. And I want to go to the Critical Role live show in a cosplay, and I want to meet them. I want to meet them because Critical Role was the only thing that made it so I didn't go completely fucking crazy this summer. Imagine it's going to be very similar next summer. I'll probably be able to watch all of Vox Machina with all the time I'll be stuck in recovery next summer. So I want to be able to, you know, meet them and say thank you. And also go to the live show because that would be fucking crazy. So yeah, that's my jaw. That's my jaw story. Not really relatable, but what else is new? Hey.